My first original inspiration for wanting to fight was actually seeing my first live fights. Standing there watching it, I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, I want to get in the cage and do this, you know. I consider myself to be a stand-up fighter. I'm definitely a better striker than I am like a wrestler. I've got good jiu-jitsu and it takes care of me when people try to take me down. Even though my record might not show it, I'm definitely a better stand-up fighter. I worked as a 7th grade science teacher for 3 years at West Point Junior High. When my students found out I was a fighter, most of them, I don't think they really understood what I really did. You know, I remember walking out of the cage and seeing a group of them that had come to watch, and their eyes were like deer in headlights, like, you're not even the same person that teaches us in the school. No, I'm a full-time fighter now. I stopped, I gave my letter of resignation this June, actually. I'm officially retired as a teacher, and I get to be a full-time fighter, travel and train and fight, and hopefully still pay the bills. There's actually a funny story behind how I got my nickname. It's kind of embarrassing too, but Mata Ili means kill him in Portuguese, and it started out as more of a war cry that my coach would say. But when I first started fighting in Utah, they had a little show that aired on television, and I didn't give him a nickname because I didn't have a nickname when I showed up. So the guy who owned it decided to give me his nickname, which turned out to be Spandex. So I was Jordan Spandex Smith. The next week in school, I got all these 7th graders calling me Spandex. Hey Spandex, what's up Spandex? After that, I made sure that I didn't let them pick my nicknames for me, jerks. My favorite thing about fighting is being able to get in the cage and unleashing all those, you know, all those angry things that I have inside me. At the most basic level of a human being, you know, that's who we are, the fighting inside of us, you know. Those are the things that culture and society teach us not to be like, even though it's deep down inside of us, you know. As mammals, that's what we're supposed to do, is fight and survive. I get to devolve, and I get to be that basic instinct kind of animal, predator, and go in there and just, you know, let all my aggression out, and then I get to smile afterwards, hopefully. Any fighter in the world, I think I'd pick Forrest Griffin, but like a smaller version of Forrest Griffin. He's a pretty big guy, especially compared to me. Anderson Silva, I wouldn't want to fight Anderson. He has the power to embarrass you at any moment he wants to. Anybody throughout history? I love that question. It's funny because if I could fight anybody, I've got a list of people, you know, that don't need to go very far back into history. But if I could fight anybody from history, I'd like to whoop Lancelot's pretty boy butt. Me and Rich Franklin meet at the science fair. The math teacher versus the science teacher at a science fair? Come on. Of course I'm gonna win. I like my chances against Rich Franklin in the cage, not gonna lie. He's a stand-up guy, and so am I, and I don't know, that'd be one of the people that would definitely like the challenge, to go in there and be able to test my stand-up against his. A challenge is anything that makes you work hard enough to go get those goals. A challenge is anything that makes you become a better person after you're done completing it. My biggest challenge right now is Josh Burkman. You know, I got to win another fight. I keep winning fights, and this next one is going to be a big stepping stone for me, you know, in my career. So I'm looking forward to it. Ah!